Hello everybody, this is Brooke, aka Supernatural Summer 34, and today we are back at it with another Townie Makeovers video. We're actually completely finished with the base game Townies, which means that it's time to move on to the get-together Townies, starting with the Behr sisters. I really love these girls, and I always have. The first time I made it past Generation 1 of Not So Berry was also the attempt where I had my Mint Sim marry Candy Behr. They had 4 children, I believe, 3 boys and a girl. There was always something that bothered me about Candy, though, and that's her waist size. They literally made it the same size as her neck, which just isn't realistic. The Sims 4 had a lot of problems with realistic body types towards the beginning, and it really bugs me. They've gotten better since, as far as I'm aware. I know that I stopped paying attention to Townies around the same time the Eco Lifestyle came out, though, so I haven't even looked at the Townies from that and Snowy Escape. But for Yuki, I went for an e-girl look. She's a gamer and kind of geeky, but I also figured she'd be pretty alt. I didn't stick with the teal theme for her hair, and instead I went for a very neon green. I thought she was very dark, whereas Candy is more light. I know Candy is supposed to be this cool DJ, but I figured she could be that in addition to loving pink and pastels and stuff. And if this is your first time watching, when I do Townie Makeovers, I change their facial features, their body type, everything except for skin color, eye color, and ethnic features, because I want them to still be recognizable as the same Sims and the same race. Like, I feel like you could look at her and think Yuki Behr. But Yuki and Candy's backstory isn't something that I've thought a lot on. This is going to be something I come up with entirely right now. I feel like their parents weren't really there too much, though, so they were raised by their grandma and maybe an aunt or two, but their grandma eventually passed away and she left their house to them. I feel like the aunts are kind of busy with their own kids now, so it's pretty much up to Candy to take care of Yuki. I feel like Candy and Yuki have just enough of an age difference, though, where Candy can remember their parents, but Yuki can't. And I feel like sometimes Candy resents her sister for that, but she tries to shake that off and resent her parents instead. I feel like their parents were probably stoners, if I can say that on YouTube, and they were probably pretty neglectful, and I think their grandma took them away without even consulting the parents because she knew that they weren't getting taken care of. Their parents, however, didn't really seem to care that their kids had been taken away from them. Once Candy was a bit older and recognized the trauma she'd gotten from her parents, though, she decided she wanted to confront them and possibly get the police involved. So when she became a legal adult, she used her savings to hire a detective to find them. But they couldn't. They searched all over Windenburg, but they couldn't find Yuki and Candy's parents. I think Candy is in therapy to try and move past it because she knows that the chances of finding her parents after at least 10 years without any contact is very unlikely. Yuki tries to understand why Candy is so upset about this, but without remembering what it was like with them, Yuki can't really do anything but sympathize. Yuki really looks up to her sister, though, so to see her hurting over this hurts Yuki as well. I feel like Candy was never short with Yuki, though. I feel like they've always been very close, and Candy adores her sister as much as Yuki looks up to Candy. However, now, with their grandma out of the picture, they're kind of struggling financially. Candy gets decent money from her DJing gigs, and Yuki probably has a somewhat successful Twitch channel, or whatever the Sims version of Twitch is, in addition to some hacking that she's picked up in her spare time. I don't think they're doing too bad, though. They're doing as well as 2 people without regular jobs can be doing. As far as sexual orientations go for these Sims, I feel like Yuki isn't really into the whole dating scene yet, or maybe at all. She's very focused on her skills and aspirations as opposed to boys or girls. Candy, however, is a lesbian, in my opinion. I feel like she's really good friends with Ulrich and Makey. Maybe she's in a relationship with one of them. I really have no idea how to pronounce their names, by the way. Who knows? And Yuki is probably pretty good friends with Morgan Fires. I feel like the Fires family is very accommodating towards Yuki and Candy. They probably think of them as their own and offer money and stuff all the time. But Candy and Yuki have a little bit too much pride to accept that kind of help. So the Fires family just settles for being there. There is one member of the Fires family that I'm not sure loves Yuki and Candy too much, and that's Siobhan. She's always struck me as a little uptight for some reason. I suppose it could be because of her leadership of the Paragons, which is like the preps, I guess, and they're usually portrayed as pretty snooty and popular. But here we move on to Candy, and you'll notice pretty quickly that I decide to give her completely pink hair. I give her this hair that I actually gave to my Sim self the last time I edited it, because I do that a lot. In fact, since my birthday Create-A-Sim, I've changed it a lot, mostly because I've been changing myself a lot. I've dyed my hair since then, and I'm about to do it again. I've also started wearing makeup, and I'm trying out 3 wildly different styles right now. One style that I really like is a Gothic style, which is the first one I tried out, and I like it, but not all the time, and it's kind of hard to buy for. The other is this like grandpa/70s style. I think that's how I'd describe it, but it's a lot of Hawaiian print shirts and stripes and overalls. The other style is more 50s and light and dark academia because I really like their style of dresses and the neutral shades and that whole thing. Also, a couple moments ago, I gave Yuki some tattoos, which isn't super realistic just because she's a teenager, but I feel like Windenburg definitely has a tattoo shop in an outlet mall, and Yuki probably knows one of the people who works there, so she was able to get a tattoo. But I knew what I wanted Candy's sense of style to be pretty much immediately because of her hair. She also has a tattoo, and I'm realizing that ever since that tattoo artist Create-A-Sim I did, I've been giving most of my Sims tattoos. But the Sims team really did their Sims dirty in the early expansion packs because a lot of the items are pretty much unusable. Like the dress that Candy originally had in her formal wear, no one I know or have heard of would wear that unless they're a celebrity, but celebrities have always had questionable taste anyway. And the makeup that we got with the base game at first, don't even get me started. It looks so bad. It's getting better. I mean, it's still not good. I'm talking about the MAC eyeliner right there. But it's getting better. But we're actually almost done with Candy. I've always loved her, and I like her even more with this makeover. I gave her a lot of pink, as I said earlier, and that was inspired entirely by the pink in her hair in the beginning. Speaking of that hair, how freaking ugly is that thing? Like, the art that they showed for us for Get Together makes it look so pretty, and then we got the expansion pack, and it was a completely different hair. I actually saw a hair that someone made that looks exactly like the hair on the art, and I had it in my game for a while. I've replaced my entire CC collection twice since then, but yeah. But we're on to Candy's last outfit, and I give her this cute little beret. I recently downloaded this beret collection, and it adds them for every age group, and they're so cute. One of them is even reindeer inspired, so I wish it had been out for my week of Christmas because that would have been cute. Speaking of holidays, I decided not to do an Easter Create-A-Sim just because I was having a friend over for a while during the holiday. We actually did an Easter egg hunt, and it was so much fun, even though my eyesight is so bad. There's actually one egg that no one could find. Anyway, my stepdad left clues as to where the batches of eggs could be found, so it was like a scavenger hunt as well. But we are coming up on the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you all soon.